Soon he had corralled a massive group of small folk and led them to the Dragon Pit, the massive cavernous building where the Targaryen's dragons were held. Stuck in their pens and unable to fly, the dragons were caught helpless, and although they incinerated many a peasant, they were eventually swarmed upon and put down. 4 worms, Shrikos, Morgul, Tyraxes and Dreamfire, perished that day, as did Queen Rhaenyra's third son, Prince Joffrey, who was thrown off the back of his mother's dragon in his futile attempt to ride to the rescue of his own dragon Tyraxes. Subsequently, Syrax, the Black Queen's bonded mount, also died amidst a swarm of riders. Having lost many of her supporters, her son and her dragon, Rhaenyra was forced to flee King's Landing. Back in Templeton, the Dragonseed Hugh had since developed grandiose ambitions of seizing the throne for himself, but he would never get the chance, for the city was ambushed by his fellow Dragonseed, Adam, who hoped that by killing the 2 betrayers, he could prove his loyalty to Queen Rhaenyra and have the arrest order on him rescinded. This would not go as planned, for Adam would die in the fighting. However, he would take both Hugh and Ulf and their dragons down with him. Prince Daeron would also perish, making the Second Battle of Templeton yet another Pyrrhic disaster where both sides lost valuable leaders and dragons. Rhaenyra, meanwhile, had arrived back on Dragonstone, only to find an unpleasant surprise waiting for her, King Aegon II and Sunfire. Here, the Black Queen, whose rebellion had caused the deaths of so many thousands, would meet her end, roasted to a crisp and devoured by Sunfire, who, ancient and tired, died of his long-standing wounds just days later. His arch-nemesis defeated, Aegon proceeded to King's Landing. The city was still in chaos, and the mob had since crowned a random squire, Trystane Truefire, to be their king, on the grounds that he was the late King Viserys' bastard son. However, the forces of Lord Boros Baratheon cleared the rabble out for King Aegon, allowing him to reclaim the Iron Throne. For all intents and purposes, Aegon II had won, but just like Rhaenyra's ostensible victory before him, his triumph would be bitter and fleeting. Although Rhaenyra was dead, her loyalists fought on, seeking to rescue her son, Aegon the Younger, who was presently in King Aegon's captivity, and install him as king to honour what in their eyes was the true succession. At the Battle of the King's Road, a Blacks-aligned coalition of Stark and Tully forces crushed Lord Boros Baratheon's army and advanced upon King's Landing. With Aegon lacking the manpower to face them, the public mood began to turn against him,